Hi guys, day 4 of my 90 day video challenge. Yeah, I'm really kind of struggling today. Just managed to drag myself out of bed. I haven't even oiled my beard yet, and I know straight away that when my beard maintenance starts to break down, that things are bad. Um, yeah, I was due to meet a friend this morning for breakfast. Uh, didn't manage to make it. Um, and I'd been looking forward to it all weekend. It was kind of like I haven't seen this guy for a while, so we always have a good laugh and a good chat when we get together, and it's always nice. And we always go to Weatherspoons, and have about 10 coffees and just talk about the world. And I do enjoy it. I was looking forward to it, but I knew as soon as I woke up this morning that I just wasn't ready for it, and the the anxiety I had around it kind of I know enough about my patterns now that I know that if I'd forced myself to go to this breakfast, it would have made me feel 10 times worse later on. I would have come home and I would have been a wreck. Um, so what I want to talk about today is just knowing your own limits. It's a very important thing to do, and also being kinder to yourself. Um, and I mean, that really came home to me while I've been hospitalized twice due to my mental health condition. And yeah, I've gone through various treatment. And one of the main treatments that we went through while I was hospitalized is group therapy, which I was a bit iffy about it to begin with. I thought, I'm not going to get into this because how can I talk to complete strangers about stuff? I can't even admit things to myself, let alone people I don't even know. So I figured I'd go to my first session, see how it goes, sit back, see what happens, not really get involved. And literally by the end of my first group therapy session, I was in tears. And I was being surrounded by these 7 strangers who just wanted to comfort me and make me feel better. And I was amazed that I ended up feeling that capable of opening up and being honest about my feelings for the first time in, God, 30, 40 years. Well, not 40 years, because I haven't been depressed since I was 2. God, that would have been a terrible childhood if I was. So yeah, I think what group therapy made me realize was a couple of things. Firstly, that I wasn't unusual or weird in any way. I mean, I went into the group therapy experience thinking no one's going to know, no one understands me, no one's going to be able to get what I've got going on in my head. I'm unique. I'm like untreatable, you know. But you eventually realize that you can relate to so much of what other people have experienced, and that your own experience isn't as unique as you think it is. That you're not kind of on your own in the way that you think and feel, and that was amazing for me, because to feel like I wasn't alone anymore, and that I wasn't the only person that felt this way. It's quite empowering, actually. And then the other thing that group therapy did was it made you kind of very aware of other people's feelings. And what I've learned about depressed people is that we're very highly empathic. And that means that we're very good at picking up on the feelings of people around us, and we want to help, and we want to make people feel better if they feel bad, and we want to, take away the other people's pain. What depressed people aren't so good at is focusing on their own pain. So in a way, it's almost easier to help somebody else rather than deal with your own issue. And that's then going to come back to what I want to talk about. So I want to talk about being aware and dealing with your own needs before you attempt to kind of be a good friend and a good person to somebody else. It's almost like the analogy of you need to make sure that your own glass is full of water before you can give water to somebody else. It just makes the whole process easier, and it really does. I've experienced that firsthand, and And when I say you need to kind of work on knowing what your own needs are, I don't mean what a lot of people might think like materialistic needs. So I don't mean things like money or a better job or a better place to live or cars or TVs or new phones or things like that. I mean emotional needs. You need to figure out, and it's not easy. It really isn't, because um, a lot of depressed people, they find it really hard to know what their own needs are, because a lot of depressed people, they spend a lot of their lives kind of not acknowledging the fact that they have needs, that almost like they have no right to have needs of any kind, that, you know, they're suffering because they don't deserve, you know, any kind of need or emotional support. So it can be quite hard to find out what your needs are from an emotional level. Um, but you know, some of the biggest ones are you need to feel safe. You know, emotionally, you need to feel safe. You need to be, you know, you need to feel supported. You need to feel nurtured. Um, so yeah, definitely, I think that we need to, as a not just depressed people or people who suffer from mental health issues. I think as a society, we need to work on this on a basic level. We need to kind of, from a very early age, we need to nurture our children. We need to make sure that their emotional needs are met, that they are well developed going into adulthood, because that will like almost cut off this epidemic, you know, mental health issue that's widespread. It really is. And a lot of these things can be traced directly back to childhood experience. And, you know, vulnerable children, they don't feel emotionally supported, they don't feel nurtured, you know, they carry that through their entire adult lives and they become maladjusted. And it's really quite sad that, you know, we're not doing more, I think, to encourage our children to open up and talk about their needs and what they need, and giving it, like, making sure that they're met. Before I get too preachy, I'm going to move on and just say we also need to be kinder to ourselves. You know, the way I look at it is, when I was in these group therapy sessions and hearing other people's stories, it was like some of them broke my heart. I was literally like, I cannot believe what these people have been through. I want to take that pain away from them. And it's almost like the advice that we give to other people that is really, really good advice, we just ignore for ourselves. It's advice that would help us too, but we don't see it that way. We're really good at giving good advice, but we're not so good at taking our own advice. So I think that we really need to, as a society, we need to become better at self-care, self-compassion, you know, just being nicer to ourselves. And when you're depressed, that's really hard, because you're just in a dark place and you don't want to be kind to yourself. But I think it's really important that we try. And the thing about today, in my experience of not being able to go for breakfast with my friend, in the past, that would have led into a negative thought cycle for me. I would have said to myself, I should be able to go to breakfast with my friend. I should be able to interact with him in a busy cafe. I should be able to just be out and about in public in London. You know, all these things I should be able to do. And when you're talking about I shoulds, they're really, really detrimental to your health. You should never come at things with I should, because when you're talking about I shoulds, I should be able to go and have breakfast with my friend. I couldn't go and have breakfast with my friend, therefore I failed. When you're saying I should do something and you can't do it, you automatically tell yourself you failed. You said you should be able to do that, but you can't, so you failed at it. And it's kind of noticing that self-criticalness kicking in, and that punitive side of yourself. And instead of saying, I should be able to do something, I should be able to do this, I should be able to do that, forget I shoulds. I shoulds are shit. You should be able to just be able to say to yourself, I would like to have gone to have breakfast with my friend. I couldn't manage it today because I know my patterns, and I know that I probably need some time to just chill out at home on my own without worrying about being in public. I'm going to take some time to myself later to just chill out, have a bath, listen to some music, just easy little things like that, which I know help me. I'll probably meditate as well, do some mindfulness. And so instead of starting this negative thought process of being self-critical and punitive by saying, I should have been able to go and meet my friend today, I failed, therefore I'm a failure. And that's no good. That's never going to help you. So forget I shoulds. I shoulds are shit. That's my message for today. So be kind to yourself, even if it's just getting out of bed sometimes and, having a shower or just making yourself something to eat. It's just little things that even the most depressed person, they can make such a big difference, and it is hard, and everything that I talk about in these videos, it is hard, and a lot of people will probably watch and think, well, it's easy for you to say because you can do these things now, and it is still hard for me, I'm learning things the same way as everybody else is, but yeah, my overwhelming message for today is be kind to yourself, really kind of focus on your own needs before you put yourself out for others, and make sure that you're at least looking out for yourself. Self-care, self-compassion, be nice to yourself. There's nothing wrong with being nice to yourself. You deserve it. You deserve to be nice to yourself, because, if you can't be nice to yourself, how are you going to expect anybody else to be nice to you? And I'm going to leave it there, and I hope that helps. I really do. If not, I'll try better next time. Okay, thanks guys.